All right, everyone, we have a new trailer to react to today, and it's for The Rings of Power. Excuse me, The Lord of the Rings, and heavy emphasis on that, The Rings of Power Season 2. So, I was not the biggest fan of the first season. It was a slog to get through. Those, how many episodes? 8 episodes? Felt like 18, practically. I just had so many issues with the story, the writing, the characters. I mean, occasionally looked good. They definitely threw a lot of money at it. Amazon threw a lot of money at it. I'll give it that. It had some impressive production values, but yeah, it just ended up being very disappointing, and I just think, very dull, and, the whole, I mean, they leaned into the mystery of who's Sauron? I'm just like, who fucking cares? I don't give a shit. We know who Sauron is. He's the obviously. Well, if you read the books or if you obviously seen the adaptations, certainly the Peter Jackson trilogy is just like we know what he comes to be. They explained everything about his background and things, everything that you needed to know, and it's like I didn't need a whole mystery surrounding who is Sauron because we already know what he's gonna do. So what's the point? And the reveal was, very, very obvious. I thought, I was like, well, clearly I think that guy Sauron. And it's like, oh, no, it's this guy. It's her. It's this person. It's that person. Oh, wait, no, it's him. It was the person that you all thought was Sauron the entire time. Sorry, I gagged a little bit because I have to watch this trailer. But who knows? I might end up liking this trailer. Maybe they've made some improvements. We'll see. I have not seen this. This is my first time watching it. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'll share my thoughts in just a bit. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts below in the comments. So let's go ahead and start watching. Yep, that was the last scene from the last season.
Ancient and powerful has returned.
I like the dwarves. That's gross. That's grody right there.
Prepare yourselves.
Oh, Galadriel, she was the worst. Ooh.
He worms his way inside your mind. The crest of him slithers in.
Hentai. Someone watched Evil Dead.
I think he has been here. I think he's been here among us all along.
He's the guy. Get it? Yeah. Ooh, that's a bad wig. That's a lot of forehead. I should know. That's a lot of forehead, and that's a bad wig. Oofa. Damn.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril.
Spinny kicks.
He's Sauron.
Man, that's a bad wig he's got on. Yeah, they can afford all this, but they can't afford a good wig. Oh, Lord. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, new season, August 29th, season 2. A little stinger at the end, a little stinger. More wigs? No more wigs. Let's go ahead and show off that wig right there. Yeah, that is, yeah, that looks bad. So I'll say this. I mean, much like the previous trailers, and obviously, the first season of Rings of Power, there are a lot of moments where, wow, the production values are on full display. Like, it does look great. And clearly that's what they're showcasing. Just a lot of, I like the weird goopy creature, whatever the hell it was, like climbing up the side of the wall. Like that's cool. I mean, some of the sets look very impressive. A little bit of the CGI looks impressive. I hope they just don't overdo it with this. I mean, they will overdo it with the CGI. Because I feel like, once we got to like the Hobbit trilogy, for instance, it became so CGI heavy and nothing felt real anymore. But despite, aesthetically, I'm like, oh, that's impressive. It's like just this story of Sauron, I'm just in which they're just leaning into. It's just like, we already know the story. How this all ends up. So, just why explore this? And people are like, well, they can provide more context to the story itself. And I'm just like, sure, that's true. But the context they added in the first season wasn't very good. It wasn't very interesting. It was quite dull, to be completely honest. It was just like, what? I preferred not knowing. It's not like, for example, a House of the Dragon situation. where even though they mention like the Dance of the Dragons in Game of Thrones with Stannis' daughter, she brings it up to him at one point. And of course they put up those little lore entries, those cool little animated lore videos, which was super cool for Game of Thrones when it was coming out consistently. And despite knowing that story, they provided really good context for kind of the basic premise of that story within the first season. In their first season, whereas the Rings of Power did not. Everything that they touched on was not really all that interesting. The characters that we followed were very dull. It was slow, monotonous. It was a boring show that had these moments of spectacle that looked really pretty. And nothing that I'm seeing here is convincing me that they've changed their ways. It's like, yep, that spectacle's on full display. The production value's on full display, except for the wig, of course. Except for those wigs. One wig to rule them all. But yeah, I just these characters, they're just not very interesting to me. And I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first few episodes and see. But if it's just more of the same, I'm not gonna make the same commitment that I did to that first season and watched however many 8 or 10 episodes or whatever the hell it was. It felt so long. There's so much good television out there right now to watch, whether it be stuff like Shogun or X-Men 97 or Fallout and so many other shows that will be returning. House of the Dragons is returning. Matter of fact, I wonder if they actually put out a trailer today. To take away the attention off of Rings of Power Season 2. I would not be surprised. I'm actually going to check that. Let me actually check. Is there another? I'm just gonna do this. I was gonna. What about you guys? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Let me actually check. Let me check if they did that. They literally did. Oh, that is so funny. 3 hours ago, they put out the House of the Dragon Season 2 trailer. So it must have been like right after the Rings of Power. They know what they're doing. Fucking HBO Max. They're not slick. I know exactly what they're doing. It's like, yeah, you have that. But here's the thing that you're really excited for. So it looks like I'll do a trailer reaction for that as well. But yeah, I'm just not interested in this story. I'm not interested in these characters, despite the visuals looking very impressive, despite the production values being on display, obviously with the exception of the wigs, because the wigs look fucking awful. But what about you guys? What did you think of the teaser trailer? Did you like it? Were you more mixed on it? Did you not like it at all? Were you a fan of season 1? Were you not a fan of season 1 of The Rings of Power? The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.